The president's economic approval rating has plunged to just 35%. American businesses struggling to survive amid reams of new regulations, high corporate tax rates, and constant uncertainty about ObamaCare. So what's worrying small business owners the most, and what are they doing to stay afloat and grow? Joining us are three small business owners from across America. In Washington, Mike Bray, owner of HobbyWorks. In Denver, Harold Jackson, owner of Buffalo Supply. And in Chicago, Matthew Samaglia, owner of Samaglia Productions. I am going to give home state advantage of Colorado to Harold to kick us off here. Tell us a little bit about your business and how recent conditions out of Washington have been affecting it.
Well, Buffalo Supply is a family business. We're 30 years old. We're a distributor of high-tech medical equipment. And it's always a struggle to keep up with the new regulations coming out. You know, it's our goal to always comply with every law, rule, and regulation, but it's a full-time job trying to keep up with them.
Interesting, because one of the things I read in your notes was that the medical device tax provision of Obamacare, which has actually been voted 79-0 to be repealed by the United States Senate, which is an amazing bipartisan achievement, especially in today's Washington. How is that affecting your business in particular?
Well, it doesn't directly impact me because I'm a distributor. I don't have to pay the tax. It indirectly affects me because my suppliers have to raise their prices to cover the tax, and in some cases we get put in a short squeeze where we have contracts with our customers that take time to change, and escalating prices negatively impact us.
Okay, let me now go to Mike, because you're there in Washington, D.C., which is also a place where I spent a lot of time, so half home state advantage goes to you. You actually think that your business is doing fairly well, right? You are intending to be able to grow this year.
Yeah, that's correct. You know, the worst part of the recession seemed for us to kind of have petered out in the middle of 2011, and so from the second half of 2011 to the near the end of 2012, we were really going back gangbusters. In fact, that was one of the best 12-month stretches we've ever had. We've seen some weakness. We saw some weakness at the end of 2012, and the first half of the year hasn't been great. But I feel like that the second half this year is going to improve, and we're looking forward to opening one, hopefully two locations next year. And does
Obamacare and the new regulations and being able to provide your employees with what the government's going to require and what you want to provide as an employer, is that having an impact at all?
Well, you know, we live in Maryland, Dana, and my business is headquartered in Maryland, and Maryland is way ahead of a lot of other states in terms of being ready for some of these provisions. And as a result, I'm going to be better off. We already provide health care for our employees. We're right at 50 employees right now. But in Maryland, where I only had 3 choices for health care before, 13 insurers have announced their intention to provide on Maryland's exchange. So hopefully, with a whole bunch of new businesses and individuals coming online as potential customers, and nearly quadruple the potential, competition amongst insurers, I might be in pretty good shape.
Interesting, because Maryland was one of the first to actually adopt an exchange, but other states have not had the same kind of experience, and certainly people haven't. Matthew, one of the things you noted was that your premiums for your health care insurance have gone up an incredible 96%. How are you dealing with that as a small business owner?
It's very difficult. I mean, it's one of the things that we're also dealing with is the fact that a lot of medium-sized businesses that would normally hire my company are holding on to a lot of their cash. So they're not going out and they're not spending the money that we need in order to stimulate our economy so that I can provide more jobs to people.
So what do you think, Matthew, that Washington, D.C., if anything, would it be good for them to actually do something, or do you just wish that they would just stop doing things?
You know, I think that when it comes down to it, as a small business owner, and one of the great things about our country is that we get to decide to make a business and we get to go and follow our dream. And then when you start to turn around and have Washington tell us, hey, we think that you should run your small business in this way, it sort of, deflates your enthusiasm a little bit.
Harold, one of your concerns is government spending, and we had the sequester that went into place last March, and it didn't have the disastrous effects that President Obama said it was going to have. But it has squeezed a lot of different places, and one of the things that you provide equipment to is veterans hospitals. Are you concerned that when they come back, if Washington can't get anything done, that's going to be an even greater worry for your business?
Well, yes, I am. The sequester didn't affect us deeply. It did impact our Department of Defense business in a negative way, but that seemed to be offset with growth in the Department of Veteran Affairs, which of course was not included as part of the sequester. But if you have a government shutdown, it would certainly have a dramatic negative impact on our business.
Mike, I wanted to ask you, what are you hearing from employees or people who are applying to work at HobbyWorks? What do you hear from them? Do they have anxiety, or do you think that their mood is improving as the economy seems to sort of improve in certain areas?
You know, I think the mood right now is very uncertain. It was real positive going into the second half of 2012. But the talk of the budget cuts and the sequester that followed, and then letting the payroll tax cuts expire, so that money started coming out of basically lower middle and middle income workers' paychecks. That's really, I think, had a chilling effect. And everybody, it seems to me, that nobody needs anything we sell. So it seems to me that both potential employees and my customers are kind of in a holding pattern, waiting to see what's going to come next.
Hey, I don't know if people don't need them, but I want them. I liked all those things that they were showing up on the screen. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Very helpful for America to hear from you. Coming up,